And we'll let the feet be on the floor and curl your spine up and down, and let's start waking up the back. Let's start waking up the hamstrings and the glutes, and feel like 4 corners of your feet are evenly pressing into the ground. We're going to breathe in through the nose and fill the diaphragm, the ribs, and the apex of the lungs. Breathe in and breathe out through your nose. So you'll notice your low back might need to, you might need to articulate slower through the low back if you woke up a little bit tight. And that slowing down and giving each vertebra its own attention is a really neat technique. You're focusing on segmenting the spine. Let's take a couple more. Breathe in, breathe out. And then you're gonna stay in the bridge where your hips are lifted and they feel even. You can put your hands on your 2 ASIS bones to ensure that. And then just enjoy. Breathe in and hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then lower your spine down. Good morning. And then once your hips are down, we'll take the hands to the inner ankles or the inner feet and let the knees be wide. So I'm also going to add a rock here. This helps wake up the low back, the inner thighs, and the hips. So notice how your body feels. You're getting to pay attention to your body, your breath, your mind, your spirit, and you're letting this be a time of care. Now inhale. And then exhale to let those feet down again, although this time the option is to take the feet a little further. The knees are more obtuse. You can dig the heels in to the floor, and the toes can even be lifted as you add the bridging up. You're going to feel your hamstrings a little bit different, and down. And curl up and down. Breathe in. Now if your low back is feeling like it needs more attention, just slow down during that area. Good. You may notice it starts to feel like it's warming up. And we'll do a couple more. And then we're going to hold our hips up again. So it's about 10 here. A count of 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lower down, and this time we're going to take the right ankle to the left thigh, reach your hands through that window and clasp your fingers if you can. Again, add a rock. We're going to relax the hips, we're going to relax the low back, relax the mind. Breathe in, 5, 4, 3, let's add a few ankle movements, shall we? 2, inhale. And then on your exhale, take your left ankle to right thigh, reach your hands through, and clasp. All right, so now adding the rock right and left, and right and left. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And 5, 4, ankle movements as well. 3, and 2, and 1. Now we'll do the last of those bridges here where the legs are a bit longer. So we've done 3 positions. This is the 3rd position. You're up and down, and you won't feel the articulation in the spine as much with this more obtuse angle. You will feel the hamstrings a little differently. So up and down. 5, 6, 7, 8, you are digging the heels in. 9, and you're trying to lower with control. 10, but on this one we're going to hold. So hold the hips up. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then let go. Now the happy baby. Oh my goodness. So you could probably feel the entire back body. Add a little movement with this, right and left, right and left. Should feel like hamstrings, low back feeling. You definitely work them. Now with the feet on an imaginary table, place the hands behind your head. Lift up the shoulder blades and then add a rotation. This is crisscross, 30 repetitions. If you need a modification, take the legs up higher, more vertical. Otherwise, if you're working on that harder angle, that more challenging angle, your legs are about 45 degrees. Look at your belly, it should be pulling in. Let's add pulling the toes back now. Stretch up through your heel. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, recover. Now, just a good old-fashioned thigh into your belly. Again, just rock a little. And the next one is still going to be abs, but we're going to leave our neck out of it. So the left leg will be long and the right leg will be up. So if your neck is uncomfortable here, grab a pillow, place it under your head. Otherwise, 8 leg circles. And we know that moving these long bones in the ball and socket is good for us. So enjoy that movement, that flexibility. We're also pumping lymph. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. We are going to take about 8 the other way. Breathe in, and I say the word about because if you're lost in the feeling, it's easy to lose count when you're really thinking about the feeling, the ribs down, the scapula down. Now on that 8th one or so, hold on to the underside and flex and point, and flex and point, and notice how the ankle gets deeper stretch as you're here. Flex and point. And then just hold, enjoy 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 should feel great. 7, 8, 9. Now this leg's down, this left leg's up, hands beside your hips. All right, here we go. Breathe in to start the circle. Breathe out to bring the leg back up so your abs can help you. The ribs are down. Enjoy that feeling. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to go the other way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to hold on to the back side and add a really deliberate full point and flex, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. I like to even imagine or think about articulating through your foot, articulating through your toes. Spread and inhale and just hold it there. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hug them both in for a moment. We are going to take a single leg stretch. So lift your shoulder blades, take one leg up, and then pull in the other. 16 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, come up, look down a little bit towards the bottom toes. Yep, that'll help the neck. And 6 more. 6, 5, 4, yep, 3, 2, good, and recover. Hug and let your neck rest. Let your head rest. So with your head down, your hands are now beside your hips. Your thighs are up, and you can imagine you're holding on to ribbon between your legs, so your legs are glued together, and then you're going to circle the legs as a unit, go the other way, circle the legs as a unit, and then go the other way, and go the other way. So as big a circle as you can keep the ribs down and the scapula down. And we're going to do 4 more. 4. You feel your abs, oh, when your legs are away. 3, let the belly pull in on the exhale. 2, 1 more. 1, and then let's take the feet wider than a bridge pose. Let the inner right knee drop. Take the left ankle and place it on top, arms up. You might feel the top of your hip and thigh. You might feel your lower back with the arms up in this YRT. Yes, me too. So this one feels great on my low back. I'm so glad you feel it. This one, I feel a sense of lengthening, like a decompression in the lumbar spine. See what you feel, and then add that breath. The breath is a powerful addition. It's like you're melting away all the tension. Let's try the other side, feet wide. Drop the inner knee down and pick up the right ankle and press the left
thigh down, or just the weight of your leg helps it. Unless you have an inner knee pain with this, then you would just take the foot off. But what I'm doing is making sure to get the hip muscles, and the back muscles are also getting into the stretches as well. A lot of times a low back tightness or pain can be helped from just opening up the hips, or it definitely supports it. So it depends on the etiology and what's going on. But in general, you want to notice, does this tend to help my back when my hips are getting open? Breathe in. Then you have these tools in your toolbox that help you, or depending on how you feel, you know which tools to grab. Okay, let it all go. And then it's time to take a little sip. So I'm going to use the hands underneath the thighs. Come up and grab a sip. You're doing great.
I was reading about how most people are low-grade vitamin C deficient, not necessarily scurvy levels, but for optimal health. So I've been sticking some lemons in my water every day. Sometimes you gotta chase that with water too, so I hope you're getting enough vitamin C. Take an inhale. Now when you're ready, lower down, lower down, lower down. When I'm lowering down, I'm controlling this with the belly pulling in.
And then once you're here, the hands are behind your head. We're gonna lift up the thighs to start. Now the knees can be as bent as you need for modification. So I'm gonna slightly bend mine for hamstring tightness. Now inhale, on your exhale, you're gonna rotate your torso, upper body, towards the leg that's closer to you. As you lower the other leg, you're still maintaining rib contact to the floor. So it's a single leg stretch plus a rotation, flexion and rotation. So you're noticing your belly every time you switch sides. That way you can make sure it's pulling in. 10 more, 9, 8, 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're just gonna take a little breather. Let this go into a supine bound angle where the feet soles go together and the knees open wide. To add on, you can take your arms like a field goal poster wide and let the gravity take your knees towards the floor. Let your muscles relax. 10. Take 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and then glide the legs back up. So you're going to do a double leg stretch next. The first move, modified, is hands to shins, and then stretch the arms and legs up. And then swim your hands around, touch the shins. Second progression, a little further, you got it, you guessed it. Third progression is everything lifts, your torso and knee, your shoulder blades, and then you stretch out and you hug. You stretch out and you hug. Stretch, hug. Now, if the neck is an issue, you can just put your hands behind your head, tap the elbows to the knees, and stretch. 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Nice job. Take the knees to the right. They're going to both be bent. The arms are out. You're going to look to your left. So we're putting in a rotation. This one's a bent knee rotation, spinal twist. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe, just like you're melting into some sand. Now we're going to bring it back. Take your knees to the other side, and you're looking to the right, and breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Think about how you're just melting or letting go. Doing so good. Breathe in. Now when you're ready, you can bring the legs back to neutral. And we're going to take Utthita Baddha, which is holding onto the big toe pose. Reach up a foot, reach up a hand. Now, your left leg could be long, and your right leg could be up in the sky. So you've got the belly pulling in. 10, you might chin tuck a little bit, Michelle. 2, yeah, see if that feels better. Yep, 3, 4, and 5, belly in. 6, and 7, and 8 and 9. Now recover for a moment. We are going to switch places, so hold on to the other leg and come up. Okay, and 1. Good. 2. There you go. 3, 4. Belly in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on the 10, I'm going to have us come up and just grab a sip.
We did that one. Yes, Karen, that's right. Good. And 5. Take a couple sips if you want. We'll come back. And then when you're ready, we're going to go back down to the belly, back down belly work, so ab work.
All right, this is a little bit of the, so head down. You know, I'm mixing it up here, head down, head up. The bicycle move, the first series or level is that you're bicycling in a small bicycle and your head's down. But if you want it a little bit harder, you can make the bicycle bigger. In particular, the legs or feet get further away from you. The ribs are staying down. Now, if you want to make it harder, your hands can go behind your head and you can crunch up and down. And then, of course, the last, come up with the teaser being your move and then teaser down. So find what do you need. I do like to add a chin tuck. So when you're on the ground, you chin tuck first. Your neck shouldn't feel strained, and that's a little trick to keep it out of the neck. Chin tuck. A little bit of contraction in the neck, though, is good. You don't want forward head syndrome. You want your neck muscles to be strong. You just don't want to strain them. All right, relax here, hug. 5 and 4, 3, 2, and we're going to do a counter pose for all this hip flexion, which is a bridge. This time, though, we're going to interlace fingers underneath the hips. The shoulders can go closer together. Neck soft. I even do a little deliberate exhale. Hold 10, 2, 3. Or you're opening up the hips that were just flexed. 3, 2, 1, recover, and then leave one foot on the ground, but put it further away from your hips. One leg up in the air, thighs parallel. Now, you could take crunches, 30 degrees, or you can climb a tree up, 4 on each side. And then either crunches with the other leg, or up, 4 on each side. Nice. Now, this stretch is going to be right ankle to left thigh, kind of like we do with figure 4, but we're going to roll over. So the right foot's on the ground, the right arm's out like a T. Now the left hand could help push that knee away. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Breathe in. And that's so nice. And then we're going to come back to where you're neutral on your back. Your left ankle goes to your right thigh, which of course you're welcome to just stay here or roll over that left foot on the ground. Push the knee away with your right hand. Let your left arm come open. There's a good low back stretch there. Breathe in. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Really good. And then slowly bring it up, but the hand is going to be on each knee. So real soft. You're not squeezing your knees, but you're going to circle your knees and the hip socket, the thighs. And bigger and bigger. And try each way. I'm going to change direction. So you want to feel like the femur is moving in the hip socket. Good job. And hug it in, breathe in. And then the next move is either your 30-degree crunches or it's a roll up. So listen to your body, do what you need to do. We're only going to do 3 up, over, and down. Inhale, up, over. You got to move away from the big healthy plant and down. The hollow plant is just rocking, and then up, Good. And then if you want, the next one is it's called neck pull, but you put your fingers beside your temples, you exhale up, and remember, you can just keep it as a roll up, and then you hinge, and then you flex, and then just 2 more. Exhale. We're going quality over quantity, and then hinge, and then 1 more. Nice. Now the left leg's gonna stay long. Beautiful. The right knee's gonna go over. So notice it's a twist, but it's a little different. Left, it's a little deeper than the other one we did. Left hand on the right knee, right arm out. 10. And then try the other side, right leg long. Take the left knee over, 10. And then take an inhale, and on your exhale, we're gonna pull the legs in, and then hug, we'll pop up and take a sip.
Nice job, guys. Grab a sip. Really good. We're gonna add on, as you know. So the next is gonna be a hands and knees, which for your back is really good exercise. And you see some of these basic exercises are really good for remembering what the cues are in advanced exercises. And I'm doing a cat-cow here with flexion, extension, and linking the breath with movement, flexion, exhale, inhale, extension. But also make sure to wake up those multifidus muscles that with pain sometimes just turn off. And it's a protective mechanism, but you do want to turn them back on. You do want them to contract. So feel like you're pulling your belly up towards your spine, anti-gravity. 1 more. Feel your scapula glide. And then find what you feel is neutral or a table. So your ears in line with your shoulder, yet you're strong in the scapula, they're wide, your belly's not drooping. Everyone looks good. Now right arm, left leg, reach. And you can leave the toes down at first. Let's just do a run through. And then lower that down, and you make sure your head doesn't drop. You make sure keep going, your belly doesn't drop. Make sure that your hips don't rotate. So you get a chance just to review the fundamentals. So I'm leaving the toes down on purpose to review the fundamentals, to notice any trends. Does my body tend to do something that now that we're basic, we can feel it? Also, it's making sure the multifidus are on. So if I don't pay attention, my head drops, so I'm pulling it back. All right, if you care to add on, you can lift your toes, and then you'll reach. Right arm, left leg. Keep pulling the head back. Reach, belly in. 1 more on each arm and leg. And then a child's pose. That's good for your shoulders too. Make sure your neck feels good. 5. And we're going to go out to a forearm plank. So if the forearm plank doesn't serve you, the hands and knees pose is very similar but shorter levers. So come up to your toes and your forearms if you'd like. Hold 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then rest your pelvis. You're in Sphinx and or Swan. So barely pull your pubic bone under, Karen, just the tiniest bit. There you go. Inhale. And stretch out now the front of the body that just got contracted. Really good. And then come on down and we'll do it again, a 20 count. Elbows underneath the shoulder, curl the toes and lift up. 1, 2, yep, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Rest the pelvis, legs long. You're on your forearms or your hands, Sphinx or Swan. You're doing great. We're gonna do one more of those series. Get ready, elbows down, curl the toes. We're gonna come up to plank for 20 and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Rest the pelvis, you're on your forearms and or your hands can help you up. Swan, 10, 2, ooh, good, 3, 4, 5, add the breath, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then lower. We're gonna take a child's pose, and if you wanna add your toes under, that's a nice one for your feet. Feet have trampolines in them that we want to absorb, and like springs, absorb every step so that it helps the rest of our joints. So we want flexible, pliant feet. And then you're doing great. Grab a sip. We'll do a little bit more with the belly downs. Good job, guys. We're gonna be belly down. This time we're working our rear deltoid, which is really good for the shoulder. So take your legs long, and we're gonna take our hands beside our hips, palms face the floor, lift up your torso, lift up your toes. Now when you're ready, add on 10 arm lifts higher than your body, rear deltoid, scapula, trapezius muscles. Keep your head withdrawing so your ears in line with the shoulder. Now we're going to take the arms out like a T and add 10 more arm lifts out to a T, working different fibers of those deltoids, scapula, rhomboids, trapezius. And then we're going to take the arms like a Y and do 10 more lifts with the arms. Breathing. All right, take a child's pose. This time with the child's pose, walk the fingers over to the right. You're gonna try to stretch out that left side. Breathe into your left side. 10. And then go to the other side. Walk those fingers over. Really good. And add a step. You're doing great. We're going to be taking some more back exercises. So when you're ready, come down to your belly. This one's called breaststroke. It's important to have flexible scapula that move in all the ranges of motion. So here we go with the inhale, circle the arms and go all the way down to your thighs. Draw a line up the ribs, go tall. It is important, and then lift up and lower. So what you're doing is thoracic extension. You're moving your arms in a really big range of motion. You want to feel how your scapula move. That's a natural action. You don't want to always have the scapula rigidly down the back like concrete. The arms should be able to go overhead. So you're testing that, or you're practicing that, and there's no weight in the arms, so it's a great place to practice. How high can your thoracic spine lift you with no help? So your hands aren't on the floor. Take one more. Now we're gonna let our arms be a pillow, and you can leave your cheek or your forehead on the ground. Lengthen just the left leg up.
and then lengthen just the right leg up. Lengthen just the leg and then the other. All right, so you're gonna alternate legless. Good. Long, good. Long, long. Breathe. And are both legs going up the same? And usually that's a function of the hip flexor tightness or flexibility. So try to feel length in the front of your hip as you feel strength in the back of your hip. Now to add on, both legs up and flutter. Try about 20 there. Relax for a minute, windshield wipe. We're gonna do horizontal abduction next. Lift up your legs and tap the feet together. The knees are off the ground, the toes are off the ground. 10 more. And then push back, child's pose. This time, take the knees wide so you have this little V, so you're getting a big belly breath. So breathe in. And then come back up and take a sip. You're doing great. We're gonna do a couple of seated stretches that, you guessed it, help with the back. So I'm gonna sit crisscross applesauce, but if you're more comfortable on a pillow or your legs out, do that. This is an inhale to lengthen and an exhale to rotate. I'm gonna catch the hands on the knees, catch the hand on the floor. Thoracic rotation. Do you feel that when you exhale, you go a little deeper? Isn't that nice? And then inhale to open. It's almost like your arms are lifting over a fence, and then you exhale. You're trying to create space in the intervertebral disc between your vertebrae. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to take another inhale. And then on the exhale, come back. Now, the lateral flexion is next. So one way is hand over to the knee and arm up. Another way is hand down. So find what works. Act like someone's pulling your arm. You're stretching even through your fingers. I find that helps me stretch everything. Rotate down. Nice, Karen. You could feel that difference when you opened up your palm. Yep, isn't it neat? Sometimes the littlest cue in one body area opens up another area. You can tell a rotation up. Now let's just say your neck didn't like this. You can still rotate your torso and then shift your head to a more comfortable position. That way you get all the benefits. Breathe into that rib cage. Stretch through the fingers and then come up. So I hope you feel that hand cue. Hand here, go up. So I start right away if you can. It's almost like you're catching air, or that's a good way to do it. You pull yourself. That's all. What works for you. So if you grip for a hobby, you're tight in your hands, like I mountain bike and shoot. My hands are gripping. So for me, I really like that cue. If you feel sort of compressed, you might like that cue. Maybe you like both. The tools are always better with your idiosyncratic help. We're going to rotate down. Now that breath. So you're still lifting, you're still opening, but you're also adding that, and you're adding that breath. Okay, a rotation up, but let's just say your neck didn't love that. It might, but you can always tilt your neck and keep your ribs open. Sometimes I'll pretend I'm on a wall, like my right shoulder blade has to hit that wall, or I'm heading towards it so I'm not folded over. Opening up. 5. Stretch through the fingers. 4, 3, 2. Now, when we come back up, I know I'm predictable, but we're going to do the rack posture. So take the legs open, forward, and then lift up. Now you want that big circular motion. It's a ball and socket joint. We want to be able to lift our arms overhead. Even if there's pain now, you might limit the range of motion, but eventually you're thinking, I want that full range of motion. Now lift up, I like to spread out the toes here. The toes, the feet are often forgotten, so we can do it here. Try to spread them apart, lift your heart. Your hands are also on a surface, which is really good for the nervous system. You can do that at night when you're asleep. You can put one hand flat on the mattress. It's nice for the nervous system. Breathe in, feel that heart. Inhale. Lift, lift, lift. You feel how it gets a little more open? And then exhale, let it go. Nice job. We'll do a little hand stretch / wrist stretch. Fingers interlace, circle. So if you have been, let's say you've been gardening more or maybe horseback riding, whatever, and then hands down. Now it's a little stretch through the hand and the forearm. We're gonna take your fingers forward, pull the arms back, shoulders down. You wanna try to breathe through your nose the whole class and out through the nose. An exception would be if you're really working hard and you just need that breath like you're climbing a mountain. But really try to breathe in your nose. It does get easier. The sinuses do respond. It helps with hormone regulation too, immunity. And then this. Really good. And I'm just gonna shake it out. Grab a sip and then we'll get to some arms. We're gonna be doing push-ups. So grab your arm, grab your sip, and then ask yourself, do I want to do push-ups on the wall? Do I want to do them on my hands and knees and all fours? Hands and knees on like a modified plank or a full. So find a way to do 15 push-ups. Another way could be just to take a hand weight, right? So, all right, 1, and you feel your abs. I like this because it's your whole body's involved. 4, feel your abs. 5, 6, head's pulling back. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and then take a break. Stretch it out. And then we'll come up, sorry Karen, as soon as you came down, I was gonna get us back up, but grab a sip since you're there, and then we'll come up with no hands. So very first exercise, just to get your calves warmed up. You can do calf raises every day. It's really good for the vessels. It's really good if you've had to sit down for a while, like traveling, or you've had to stand for a while even. So it starts feeling good. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn so you can see me. I'm lifting up my toes now, and then my ankles or my heels. Oops, I've got something in my hand, so I don't. Notice I'm not doing this. I'm not just shifting my hips. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this from my ankle. Yes, so you can feel your shift. Good, everyone looks good. That's it, nice. That's so we don't shuffle. That's so that we balance out the muscles on the lower leg. We can lift our toes up mountains, over curbs, effortlessly. Really helps with preventing falls and getting the balance muscles on board. You all live in hills, which is really good naturally to have stairs or hills to keep those muscles active too. All right, we did that. Now single calf raise. Let me just turn one foot. So your calves, sometimes one will feel different than the other. We're gonna do 15 on one side. I want you to try to keep the hips level. See if one feels differently. Lower with control. In other words, don't just let gravity yank your heel down. 7, 8, 9, good, hips look level, that'll help your back. All right, can you tell the difference between 10 and 15 reps? Woo, 13, 14, 15. Now the other, wrap your foot, go up, 15, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, now a squat, and I like to call it chair squat or first position squat. And so we're just gonna go through the cues. When you go down, can you try to think 50-50? So 50% of the weight's on the right leg, 50% of the weight's on the left leg. So you notice I'm going slower.
If I don't pay attention, sometimes my right leg takes over, even just 5%, but I can feel it happening. The dominant mover leg will sometimes try to do that. So we're going slow enough to notice it and to edit it. Good. Another thing everyone's already doing, but I'm just gonna say it, your knee is tracking with your middle hip. It's not knocking in or out, and it's in line roughly with your second toe. But I do see good stability. Now we're gonna hold it in an isometric hold. I do like to barely just chin tuck so the neck doesn't have any congestion. The arms are gently in front. So there's 10, both legs should feel even, 9, good, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then stand. Okay, great. Now a little bit more open. This is also both of these squats. You can do this about 30 minutes after a meal and lower that circulating blood sugar. You can do that or a 10-minute walk, but the squats are kind of easy because it doesn't have to be, if it's raining, you can do it. You don't even have to go outside, but sort of easy after a meal. Good. Or you can eat a piece of black garlic, fermented garlic. But anyway, those are just little tips. 7, 8. Do you feel the heels are heavy? 9. I know you know what we're gonna do next. Now on the 10th, we hold 50% of the weights on each leg. Knees are tracking with the second toe. Yep, feel like it's even. Nice. Hold 5, should be even. Torso 4, 3, breathing. And then push back up. Really good. One-legged balance. So these are all things that we, let's grab a sip, that we should be able to do with our legs. We keep it in here for functional fitness. So my good comeback move tree. One-legged stability is really important to predict not falling. Lack of one-leg stability is a high predictor of falls within that year. Breathe fully. I'm looking at the clock. We're gonna do it a full minute, so it's more in line with the studies. I'll let you know when it's at 30, but just keep the full breath, the full drishti, or the gaze about level with your eyes. Okay, so try 30 more seconds, you've got it. That's okay, that's why we're doing it, right? Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, lower and lower. Now, homeostasis, you probably were breathing fine, but you're just double checking. Is yes, like you have a full tank. Your nervous system is clear and free. This is a neat little clearer of the nervous system, isn't it? Another cue is lift and spread the toes. So lift and spread the toes. Now the other side, we're going to do a minute of one-legged stability. These are little functional fitness opportunities. So you could lift the arms. I've got my eye on that clock over there, so I have a rough idea. Now can you breathe fully well here? You can. And you'll see a tree, it isn't stagnant, like I'm looking at a juniper right now. It's moving, it's just not falling over. So it's okay if you move. You're not asking yourself to be rigid. You're moving, even just by breathing, or like the little contractions around the ankle. So you're not asking yourself to be concrete. Good, good. You're really kind to yourself. If you do slip, you just say, okay, that's why I'm here. I'm doing this some more. Good job. I did better this time. I'll do better next time. Try 10. Breathe in. And then exhale. Bring your hands together. Woo! Lower down. Let's do this. This was a good move. The next one I'm gonna do is a harder move. So I'm gonna grab a sip. Let's grab a sip. This one's called single leg squats. We've been working on them. We're gonna do isometric first. Because of that tendency, like even when I fold it over to get my drink, I can tell my right leg wants to be the one that I'm hanging on. So you see there's little tendencies that up. So what we do in the movement classes is to try to equalize that. Sit into your heels. Now one leg comes up. So I'm gonna do left to right, left ankle to right thigh. All right, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you're gonna stand up, bring it together, full breath, let it go. Great job, we're gonna do 10 on the other. I like to have this little equilibrium. Okay, homeostasis, and come down. Now we've gotta do the other one. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then come back up. Take a moment. I'm going to show you a trick on the next one. You don't have to have this, but I do like to have a trick if you need it. So if you want it, one knee is going to be touching the block or something in your mind's eye. And you know, you could put it this way too. So my right foot's on the floor, my left foot's up. So one trick is to touch the block, then you know how low you go. If you don't want the block, you can go to the floor. I want you to know you will tilt forward. Unlike the other squats that I cued today, go to your block, good, or go to the floor, and make sure you're not torso twisting. You want your torso to be neutral and not twisting. We're doing 10 on each leg. It could be 2 inches as well. I want you to make it work for you. When you're on the other leg, let's say you're using the block, this way you know your right and left leg are doing the same thing. So you could bend, touch, and come up. Maybe you do it higher, maybe you do it lower. Try to keep your torso square. It's gonna try to rotate. And 10. Woo! Whenever you're ready, grab a sip. You did good. We're going to do dynamic balance. So good job. Grab a sip when you need it. A couple ways we can do dynamic. Let's do one foot and then the other, but notice all 10 toes are facing forward. Now I'm on a tightrope. I'm going to rotate to the right. I'm going to rotate to the left. Whoa, okay. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to do 4 sets. And you know, you might notice your body tries to not rotate all the way. Give yourself the opportunity to rotate. If you fall, it's okay. Your foot's right there. Cleanly rotate, meaning don't lean, don't hinge. Just follow the horizon. So, good. Now the other one is, so you notice how my right toes are forward because it would be tempting to turn out. Now the left toes are forward. So all 10 toes are forward and my legs are touching. They're so one behind the other. And we're gonna do 4 full rotations, meaning both sides is 1 set. So that was 1 set. 1, we're gonna do 4 of those sets. 2, and is 1 foot different than the other? Is it harder to do it with 1 leg in front? Get your balance, then go. 3, Really good. I love it. Now you noticed your feet were fixed. This time the upper body's gonna be moving, and the one foot. Now, I'm gonna have us just put our hands real close to the midline, the torso here. You're gonna try to rotate your torso with only one foot. Rotate it left, rotate it right, rotate it left, rotate it right, because they're functional. One more. Rotate left, and rotate right. Come back to center, and then come down. Woo! Good job. That was different. You did good. Now lift and spread your toes and take a full breath when you feel like you have a full tank. Okay, your hands are at the heart. You're going to do those rotations in the torso. Rotations. Rotation. Good. A little bit harder, isn't it? You're doing great. So we're challenging from the vestibular system, aren't we? We're moving the head. One more. And then face forward. Woo! I tell you what though, you guys scored high on functional fitness. Now we're gonna come down and I'm gonna just do this I'm gonna encourage you to do this without any hands, which is functional fitness. I'm gonna gently lower. Once the knee gently touches the floor, the hip swings around. And let's get the body down. Take the right leg up and pour the left leg down and feel a stretch. We'll touch the hamstring. Breathe in and breathe out. And you might move your neck a little right and left. And can you, I'm going to take my sock off for this, can you hold onto your big toe or your ankle or your foot and go out to the side for a big inner thigh stretch? One little trick is to put your left arm way out. So like it's counterbalancing your leg. 10. Now when you're up, see if you can cross your left hand to the outside of your foot, take your right arm far out, and then go over. So you can do this with a band. I just thought I'd show it without the band like a traditional yoga. But to me, they're both good. They feel good. A lot of times I like the band better because I don't have to work so hard, but I do like to test it every now and then. Now just try to let go into the floor. If you were on sand, how much of your body could you imprint into the sand? Now we're going to inhale, and on your exhale, come back and just realign your spine. How do you feel? How's that leg feel? You might even put your legs long. Okay, this side feels lower on me. How do you feel? And then even in my lower back, it feels lower. So now the left leg comes up, and you might use a band. You might grab to your toe. Breathe in. Pour the other leg down. And out like a big to the side. I've got to move away from the wall, but you might hold on to your toe. You might hold on to your ankle. Put your other leg out to help counterbalance. And then maybe up and over, but find out what you need to do. Over, 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 and it keeps on going. Let me move for the wall, but it's a twist. And the left arm can go out like a big fat T or Y. You look great, guys.
Yep, have fun. Just it's like a knee down twist, Karen, but your legs long, or just go to where you need to. They're all good stretches. 10. And then what we're gonna do is just for a moment, put our legs up on the wall. I want you to have the benefit of the vessels and just take 3 big breaths. You can be up on a block and just take 3 inhales and exhales through your nose. You can come out when you're ready and come up to seated.
Not sure why the class felt like it went so fast. Take a moment just to sit up and just breathe in all of the energy that you can of joy, outrageous joy, radiance, joy, glowing, happy, whatever those energies are that come to your mind, your body, your spirit. Fill it up. Breathe in the energy of joy. And we'll set an intention, energetic path to pre-pave the success that we want for this day so that we're deliberate intenders of our reality as opposed to reactive by default. So we're going to deliberately intend looking for joy, creating joy, giving joy in all forms with so much appreciation. May you have a joyous day. Thank you guys so